Hey, I'm Krista Wax. You are listening to MSP Sound on KFAI, and I'm so excited because I have Jaedyn James here with me. Hi.
Hi, how are you, Krista?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for having me on your show tonight.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. When I heard, I don't even want to say rumor. I was going to say when I heard a rumor, but I did not hear a rumor.
Well, we can take a rumor. That's all right.
I take a rumor. I heard a rumor that you had some new music coming out.
I
I was, you summed it up perfectly. Yes, I was beyond excited. So I'm so happy to have you here because we have some new music to talk about.
Yeah, I actually like made a thing after 2 years of not making things. And I just recently gave birth and I wanted to make sure that KFAI, got to hold my baby a little bit.
We're just kind of passing around. We're all taking turns holding it. And
Exactly. hmm
I
Is it
love
weird
it.
the name of the song is Push and Pull? Like, is that like a new a new element?
It takes us to another level
It takes a community.
for sure. It really does. Cafe community. We're all friends here. But wow. So a 2 year break. I will say, I did notice that you were gone and just not gone, but just a little quiet.
Because it's unusual for me to be quiet.
Yeah. I just feel like I see a lot about you and what's going on and everything. So was very excited to see you kind of come back up.
Yeah, rise from my ashes after I set the world on fire. Well, I didn't. I tried, and then like it turned out like a pandemic happened. Yeah, it's funny because I mean it's not funny. That's not the right turn of phrase. But for 5 years, I had the hunger, right? I had the 10-piece band,
Yeah.
and the bass player and I who created Jason Olson and I who created that band, we shook on it when we created the band that we would do it for 5 years. Like a year in when we were getting booked and touring and we were really having a great time, but it's tiring. It's a grind and you're tired and it's a hard lifestyle. Said we'd give it 5 years. And at the end of the fifth year, we were the busiest we'd ever been, booking shows all over the Midwest. The band really was getting along. There wasn't any like crazy drama um, that I'll speak of on the radio. But what? No,
Yeah.
it's all very silly. But a lot of my very close friends had died. So my friend Tarek and Tucker and Trevor, I don't know what was with the T's that through 2018 through 2019. I don't know what was happening, but these really like influential men in my life who were just like the opposite of like alpha men, but like, just like the best allies. And for so many women and so many, just people in this city. And there were other things going on, but it was like, we were so busy and I didn't have time to grieve and I didn't get time to like honor them. And I was just a wreck. And I knew too that I started writing music that I couldn't necessarily do with the hunger because I just wanted the freedom to just be Jaedyn, just to be Jaedyn James and to have no responsibility for my actions or posts when it came to the like representing the entire group. So, and the bass player and I, it was a very peaceful conversation where it was like, you know what, I think it's time. Like if we keep doing this, I feel like we're going to go out and there could be resentments or there could be ickiness. And we just avoided that. And Jason and I are still the best of friends. And many of the members and I, because that wasn't even like the only lineup, are still very close. Relationships fade and change and we all have different interests, but like it just wasn't only on me to end that group. But it was the best time of my life. And at that time I was like I said, I had started writing, and right before, COVID struck, right before I hit my dirty 30, the world shut down and I was supposed to really go at it with my solo career then. I had called September 2019 my hibernation time, and it turned into like a hibernation of 2 years. And I ended up working a job for the government. We won't say what agency because I will not have you coming after me. But I got a crazy office job that was very demanding, but it helped me survive because my entire life, music, the entire industry went down. And all that mattered to me was survival at that point. So it was like, okay, like, I mean, I've kind of coined this term for myself, working class diva, because I've had every job, every experience trying to, make this music thing work. Cause like there's hot seasons and there's cold seasons, and this was a really cold, hard season. And I just feel really grateful to be back with the band that I have and to finally being like release music that I'm really, really proud of. I'm really proud of Push and Pull. And I feel like I'm getting closer to what my sound is. For most artists, it's like a work in progress. You just keep massaging it until you get something that you're like, that maybe you never get there, maybe you never arrive. You just keep massaging it. But I am, and that's what's been enjoyable. I just so I'm glad to annoy everybody on the posts and the radio and kind of build up some momentum and steam, because yeah, I was real quiet because I was just working my buns off for for Minnesotans. That's what I was doing.
Wow. That's
just a little bit.
Yeah. No, but that's a lot. And who knew, when you're saying, oh, I just wanted to take a little hibernation 2019, and then no one saw anything coming in 2020 and can't believe we're still messing around with all this.
You were still messing around with it. Yeah.
Still a thing.
Messing around right now.
I mean, I just can't imagine. I've had this, I've said the same thing to pretty much every artist during this time that I have talked to. It's like, I just cannot imagine how hard that time was for you in 2020. Because who would have thought anything would happen where music industry just like shuts down, no live music. I mean, yes, there were people everyone was finding ways to do it, like a live stream, or, venues are trying to find ways, scrambling to find like.
Yeah. And no, and not only did like entertainment go down, like live entertainment, but like where artists live went down. It's like bars, restaurants, like places where we congregate. Yeah, and venues struggled, and venues already have a tough time. The arts are already not supported. These spaces already were like very on the brink, and so keeping our stages open, and also like, yeah, respect. Like, for me, it was like, I hope we can value our musicians. I hope that this is a lesson. I don't know. I've seen some door prices go up a little bit. I had thrown a story at the Star Trib to be like, will you please do something where local artists deserve a $20 door anywhere they go? Because the venue's not always paying us. Like breweries do a really good job, because they like just put you on contract. But like venues don't have that type of income unless you're getting something at the door. And so there's just like, I think we've seen a lot of like things in our economy that just are a little bit off, right? Like people come to my shows and meet the loves of their life. I've got like, there's like 6 kids that were made from, coming to a show. And I'm like, yeah, pay the $20, because it's not just about me. It's about the musicians on the stage. It's about the opening act, and it's about this experience that you're getting. Like this night that what I want is that you'll never forget. That's what I'm trying to make happen. It's like you come for the night of your life. That's what I want.
Oh, I love that.
So yeah, the pandemic was brutal. It was brutal on us.
Yeah. And I feel even among that too, you all have been, well, at least publicly, all felt very patient and very, for such a rough time, I wouldn't guess that y'all were. I know that you're having a hard time.
Yeah.
But and I've used this example many times. I didn't see y'all out protesting, saying, open the venues, like, during that time. You were respectful. And this is what I love about our community, and probably the arts community as well, is this is a community that respects and listens to the science and listens to the rules.
Yeah, for the
About
majority. And I mean, I think from everything that we as the cities went through, I mean, being the epicenter for just huge protests for racial justice, people, and I don't mean to like say this in this way, but I don't have a better way to say it right now. It's like people really showed their colors. You know, you really saw how venues behaved. You really saw how artists behaved. I mean, a lot of light, and I mean, I'm calling it still, you know, the mess around right now, but like you really got to see some stuff, and some people lost it and some people are trying to reel it back, but there's been a lot more transparency, I think, and a lot more people asking questions. And then, of course, but the hard thing is too is like as artists, we've lost a lot of our press. We lost City Pages.
oh, yeah.
We lost Vitamin.
Mm.
You know, how we get our shows seen is all on our back. You know, some venues do a really good job, and you're seeing those venues do well. Ice House, Hook and Ladder, like they are pivoting, and they also are supporting their artists. And like the Dakota does this too, right? Where it's like they want people to come, and people trust those venues to curate a show. But there's been some slip ups. There's been some definite holes that like we're lacking as a community, and like I think we're a really important music community in the United States, and like I don't know who it is. I don't have the answers there, but like we're missing some stuff here right now. Like it's great to have interviews. It's great like to have them available online to get that content, but like there's like only a couple people that even interview artists about what we're doing here and how we're, you know, how we're doing. So it was a tough time, and I think we're still figuring out how to rebuild it. We also, like I said, the deaths of those men are people like Trevor. I had said earlier this week to Doc, I was like, losing Trevor was like harder than losing all of the press we've lost, because he was such the glue and the connection between both worlds of underground and First Ave. Like everyone respected him anywhere. If he said you should be on the bill, you were on the bill. And he was like the best gatekeeper you could ever have, because the gate was open, you know? It was like a support. It was like, here's a foothold. Here you go through the gate, you know? So it'll be interesting to see who those people become, who takes those spots, and how we try to further the legacy and kind of embolden the Minneapolis music scene, because I think it's so important. I think it's one of the most important forms of therapy that a community could ever have, you know?
Absolutely. I agree. I know. Well, I mean, I pre-COVID would go to multiple shows a week, so it was a tough adjustment too. I found it hard to keep up with a weekly radio show where I was just like, what do I talk about? I usually talk about shows, and I find new bands from who's on whose bill, and that's, you know, how I discover things. And it just, yeah, it was just, I mean, wait. It wasn't that.
We can win a little bit. That's all right. Well,
Like
it's okay.
you all had it a lot worse than I did, but yeah, it was, I mean, like I could feel some pain. I felt some pain across the board here.
You know what I think about is that I'm a little bit here because I'm like re-emerging as something else, but I also know a lot of people, right? I knew the people at Hook and Ladder, and I knew if I was bossy enough that, you know, they would let me try to throw a big like fall party. Sorry, Jesse and Chris. Yeah, I'm a little bit bossy. I'm not sorry about it, because it's going to be a wonderful night. But I think about being like a new band, like back 6 years ago when nobody had heard me, nobody would give me a chance, like, because that happens at first. You're just like trying to know people. How do you get out? Like, and then I was like at everybody's shows. I was just like there creeping around. I remember like kind of physically assaulting Sunny Night, like after a show, being like, I'm coming for you, Sunny. Like, you can't do that right now, because you can't, I mean, you shouldn't assault people. Okay. No. But you can't, like, you know, I'm so crazy about my personal space right now, and I'm crazy about, I don't want to be really indoors a lot with people, and I don't know if I really want to be hanging out with people I don't know or trust or know what their ideology is. So I can't imagine what being a new artist in this town is. So if you're listening to this and you're like, man, I really want to start a band, I really am like scared and like this is a crazy time, like reach out to me. I want to see what I can do, because like I was that person, and like the people in my life when I was 21, 22, 23, the people that were in those shows and that were 30 were the people that opened that door, you know. And I know there's a hotbed here, and yeah, I would just be, I'm very, very interested in supporting like this younger scene that's coming. I want to see it. I want to see Minneapolis do really well. I think we need it. I think we need
Absolutely.
it.
I love that. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for being that person.
Well, we all should be that person.
That's true.
We should all be like, hey, but we're not right now because we're all kind of,
Or like
nervy and scared a little bit.
we're all like, oh, my bubble.
Yeah, exactly. Very right.
But let's talk a little bit about the single, Push and
Yeah.
Pull. It's out. It's out there in the ethers. I'll be playing it in a little bit.
Yeah.
How did this song come together? How was this a pre-COVID started track that finished? Was this just like, hey, I wrote a song in a day? I don't know. How'd you do
Oh
this?
God. Well, so really kind of the genesis of Jaedyn James was when I was about 20, and I mean it's kind of a big story. It's turned into a big story, but I was in I survived domestic abuse,
Mm.
and it was just a horrible relationship. And really, when you're in that, and because of that, I had really practiced a lot of like other toxic relationships with men and with women. And it really is, you push and you pull your way out of it. It's never like until the very end, it's like just not a clean break. And even now I'm still like getting out of it. So the last the last really big project that I put out with a music video was Set You on Fire, which was a glimpse into that life. And Push and Pull kind of felt like, you know what, we're going to honor the past. I'm really into like honoring feelings and honoring your story and owning it. That's just like, for me, that's always been the most powerful way to move through life, is because it hasn't been like a great, pretty ride or an easy ride for me. And I mean, one of the lines in Push and Pull is, all this pain, and what do we have to show for it? And I mean, I think right now, even in Minneapolis, in our country, in the world, like we are just in a multitude of toxic relationships being pushed and pulled all over the place. And it's so hard to find agency, and it's so hard to like feel like you're getting out of it and you're getting up on a positive note. And I felt like coming out with this song, which one, it tricks you into thinking it's like a feel good dance tune, which is like one of my favorite things. Like, I mean, I love a down and out tune, don't get me wrong. But like, I love being like listening to the words. It's like, and being like, oh my God, what happened to this person? But because when you're like bop into it. And that's what I feel like Push and Pull is. It's like, it kind of like tricks you a little bit, but it's still the story of me overcoming and really saying at the end, I do this riff of like, I'm on my way out, and I've got it figured out, which is like definitely not true, but it's always good to have confidence and bravado when you're doing funk and soul. And also like in this business and in your life, like sometimes I don't like to say fake it till you make it, because I'm not faking anything, because I do feel very confident, because I own it, because I honor what happened. And I really went through it, like I almost lost my life with that man alone in that house. Like it was a really bad situation. And I just am not the only woman. I'm just not the only person that's been there. And also like people always like have this like view of me, and I've built it, that I'm like strong and you can't mess with me and I've got it and I'm good. And it's like, yeah, a lot of people do that. They wear that face because they don't, they're tangled up in their shame, and they're tangled up in like how somebody could possibly treat them that way, and then they think they deserve it. And that's what Push and Pull is. It's like you might push your way out, and then you might land in another something kind of icky because your self-confidence got so messed with. So to me, push and pull, and a lot of this album that I will be putting out sometime, hopefully this year, is really about like, okay, like let's shake it off. We own it. But like there's another chapter. Because this whole time, and I think what the hunger was for me too, was recovery. It's like really like we made it. And it's taken me 7 years to be like, I'm alive. You know, like I'm alive, and then all these deaths and being like, okay, what is it now? What is the story now? What is the thing? Because it can't all be about this one thing. So it felt like a way to honor where I've been and where I'm going to come out with Push and Pull.
Wow. Like that's it, everybody. Thank you for coming. No,
sorry, these are such long-winded answers, but it's like
no, I love it.
So I didn't write it overnight. I probably wrote it. Well, I probably wrote the first vocal track washing dishes in my kitchen, and then I sent it to. I don't write down music. I don't know music theory, none of that. Again, I'm just very bossy, and I know how I feel, and I know how I want something to sound most of the time. And if I don't know, I say that I don't know. Give me some options. So I started working with music director Alain Blanc, who's in just amazing groups. He's so talented. And I would send him these tracks, and he would send back like a whole orchestration of the song. And this Push and Pull was his favorite song from the get-go. And I kind of was like, I don't know. I'm not sure, because especially when songs are so close to things that have hurt you and you're trying to like make something beautiful out of it, it can just be like, it's a lot. It just is like, I have to tap into something every time. And people are asking like, what's the song about? And it's like, okay, well, here we go. And this is the thing, which I'm not, that's great. That's what we're here to do. But so it probably took him and I, a couple months to really get it to a place where we were like, okay, this is the way that we're going to write it. This is the form. And then it was like bringing in the band, who I'm working with now, and they played it and they took it to like this next level. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, I also appreciate the backstory on that too. So thank you for taking us to another level with it too. That's really incredible. And to put it together, I mean, I know people definitely have been putting together music during COVID, because what else? But some people haven't been, and that's all right too. Everything's fine. Nothing's right or wrong.
So I didn't write Push and Pull in the pandemic. I worked on it, and I also cried over it. And my whole album that I had like pretty much written, I don't think the first few months of 2020 I was creative at all. Like it was just a death. It was an ego death. It was a death of my community and culture. And it was just like, it was too much. It was like I hadn't processed anything. So that's like another thing for me is like something big will happen, and it's going to take me 2 to 3 years to really know what to say about it. I'm just downloading it. So anybody out there also, because I like artists for some reason just like took on so much shame for not being super productive during this time. And it's like, we survived. We lived. That's enough.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah.
That's okay. You don't have to do it all the time. You can take a break. Like I just read a ton of books last year. That's all I did. I
roasted so many chickens. I got so good at it. I got really good at roasting chickens. But yeah, I mean, some people have more resources. I don't know anything about tech. I don't have like a cool microphone at home. I listen to 10 songs and hang out with my dog, like, and roast chickens. Like some people just don't have the stuff that other people have to do the at-home recording sessions, or like the education. I didn't go to McNally, like RIP everybody. But like, it's just like, we don't all have the same resources, and like, that's a hard thing to accept, but like, I had to accept it. I watched a lot of like other bands flourish during this time because they could do it. They could figure out how to put content out, and it was like, not my time, and it's okay. It's gotta be okay.
Yeah. That's all right. We're here now.
We're here now. Yeah.
We're here now. You also have an upcoming show at Hook and Ladder.
I know.
On Saturday, October 9th. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's so close. at this point, it's less than a week. And if you've been to one of my shows, you know that the live performance is really what's my favorite. That's, it's just what I really want is I want everybody to bring their baggage, and I want them to bring their joy, and I want them to bring every emotion and just throw it at me on stage. And I get to transform it. I get to, like, that energy that I know, because like I know these people that are coming, right? Like everybody's so excited to tell me when they get tickets. And yes, there are tickets left. We're outside, so there's like, it's a lot of room, it's a lot of space. So please go get tickets at jaedynjames.com. It's Jaedyn. There's another lady. She's very successful in her field, but not me. Some of you know what I'm talking about. But so get a ticket. But I just, that energy that they give because they know that they can do that, like that's what happens. That's what I want to happen, is that we celebrate and we grieve and we shed light on our feelings, and you go home feeling a little bit better, a little more catharsis, a little bit more clarity on a feeling that you had. And also like the community, like, again, because I know a lot of the people that are coming, we're going to have Sheila Nijhad's team come, the mayoral candidate. Her team's going to be there early evening. I might convince them to stay all night. They're very busy right now with the election coming up. Please vote for a mayor that will lead us well. That would be great. If it's not Sheila, please educate yourself. And just, you know, the other artists in town that I'm like, you're coming. And just, it's going to be like a lot of beautiful people. You'll be there. And just like, I think it's going to be a night to, I mean, never forget. That's how I look at it. That's what I'm trying to make it be. So yes, it's my return. Yes, it's my debut as a solo artist, but also the other acts are just so incredible. Like today I cried a little bit because thinking about Teresa from People Brothers singing and how safe I feel and loved when she sings, because the place where she comes from is that it's like just pure love and generosity. It just was like, what am I even worrying about with the show? Like, Teresa's gonna be there. People Brothers band is from Madison. They have hosted so many music festivals. They are an integral part of the Midwest music scene. And they're coming here for the show. It's the first time they've been back since before the pandemic. And they're just this, like, it's a celebration of family and love. And they're also very real. And there's like some blues. And they just draw you in because they've been a band for like 10 years. Half of them have kids that are like, you know, they're godparents to the other kids, and none of their kids are allowed to come because it's 21 plus, and that's good, because they're so much fun too. Like, these are like some of my best friends. And then it's just like a soul band from the 70s. Like, there just aren't bands like them anymore. And then there's Freak, Gabe, who's the lead of it's his solo project called Freak. It's like Tom Waits, a sexy Tom Waits in a wheelchair. Like, I can't, like, the power of this person, the multitudes within this person is, him and I were doing like an interview thing that we're working on called Artist for Artist, that we're going to work on in the winter because I got too busy with, you know, I don't know, my period or something. And so we sat down to talk, and it was supposed to be like 4 minutes. You're supposed to do like really quick, like bam, 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 bam. Like, these are the questions. And we ended up talking for like 4 hours. And he just is such a light. So we're going to start the night with Freak, and he's going to take us through the swamp, which to me is me ending the band, the start of COVID. And he's going to bring us to some hope because he's so full of hope and positivity and enlightenment. So he's going to hand us off to People Brothers, which is just going to be a total celebration of like love and safety. Like, to me, like, safety is really important right now. Like, anywhere I go, I just want to feel safe. I think we all need that. I think even if it's an illusion of safety, we really need it. And then at the end of the night, you're going to get like, a little bit of sexy, a little bit of sass, and a little bit of both worlds of going through the blues and going through celebration. So I think it'll just be like this wonderful way to end the night. Yeah. So I'm profoundly excited for this show to the point where I'm like, I'm a little bit unraveled. A little bit unraveled. It's totally cool. Totally cool.
Well, that's exciting. That's an amazing lineup. I haven't heard Freak, but I have seen People's Brothers Band, and that's a band I wish was from Minnesota, just so I could play them on the show. There's got to be someone from Minnesota in that band. I could probably find a
Okay, I'll
loophole.
send you a link for Freak because it's truly. I did this post on my Instagram story, which is like really, it's my favorite place to have all my neurotic thoughts throughout the day, and them only last for a day because I'm a different person tomorrow and yesterday. But I'm always showing my butt. I'm always be showing the butt. And Freak has this song called House Song. And I did this Instagram story. It was like, tell me your favorite lyric. And his lyrics are just so beautiful that we just got like across the map. Like the whole song eventually came to me like this part, this part, this part. And I was like, I mean, he's just an incredible writer. I think that's another thing in Minneapolis that we don't hold up enough is like writers, like people who, I mean, I think of myself as like an entertainer and yeah, I'm writing music, but I don't think of myself as a lyricist. It's just like, I want to pow, I want to tell you what the story is. And that's my style. It's like really in your face, really Aries, which is what I am. But Gabe's work is just so profound and beautiful. Like it's saying something so complicated so simply. So I'll send you the stuff because you'll just love it. It's incredible. It's incredible. I mean, he really should be the most famous person. Like he just should be. Like it's I don't know who I was talking to Alon, my music director, about this. I was like, what the heck is going on? Like what has happened to us that Gabriel's not just like, you know, rolling around the entire earth on every cover of everything because he's just so incredible. And I think it's coming. Like I think that'll come. It's kind of like Tom Waits, it's like it develops. It's something that just continues to be something that is amazing. So yeah, it's good. It's good. It's gonna be a great lineup.
That is a great lineup. I'm very excited. You also have a couple other shows through the month of October. Should anyone, heaven forbid, miss your show or they just want to see a little bit more of you?
Yeah, if they just, didn't get enough of me the first time on October 9th at Hook and Ladder. I got a lot that you can
a couple.
Yeah.
Well, there's
a couple of things. I'm really excited. We're going out of town on October 22nd to what used to be Ed's No Name, but they dropped the Ed's. Now it really is just No Name Bar in Winona.
All right.
And I'm really excited. I love the Valley. Great like music listeners. It's so beautiful. I think we're gonna get an Airbnb. And NJ, formerly known as Nick Jordan, yeah. Oh my God. Oh, this radiant human. So they did the choreography with me for the music video for Push and Pull, which we were going to try to release before October 9th. But again, I had my period and I can't get it out that fast. Okay. But NJ will be opening for us in Winona, which is like a dream that him and I have had for a long time, is to just like for him to open for me everywhere we go, or to exchange that depending on where we're at. I would love to open for them too, because hello, like the R&B on this radiant, beautiful man. So that's happening October 22nd. Come down if you have family in Winona. It's gonna be a great time. And then the other really exciting one that we're sharing with Annie Mac, I just found out, is on October 30th at Lake Monster Brewing. We go on, see, this is what's funny. It's like I'm a solo artist, but I'm always like, we this. I go on, I'm going to own this. Yeah. I'm going to try to own it even more annoyingly. I go on at 2:00, which I'm actually really excited about because then I get to see all the other acts. And who else do we got? We got
Apollo Cobra.
Yep.
And I think like Black Eyed Snakes and Annie Mac and you, and I might be missing another band, but
Apollo. Well, it's an act I haven't heard of. They're the only people on the bill that I don't know.
Oh, I'll send you the link. Oh my gosh. They're
Send me
really
the,
good.
well, we're gonna be just sharing links right now. We're linking up.
I know we've really fast tracked.
But well, let me just look. Let me maybe look. Like Monster, because I'm gonna feel really bad if I don't know. You're gonna be like, did you hear Jaedyn James? She has her period and she couldn't remember our name. Okay, so we've got Apollo Cobra, Annie Mac, Black Eyed Snakes. So some witchy women and some snaky snakes. Cobra, Black Eyed Snakes. So it's like a perfect Halloween show. Like,
It's amazing.
and so it only goes, Black Eyed Snakes goes on at 6:30. So you've got like music from 2 to 8:30. How perfect. Another thing I like from pandemic, and I think everybody can relate, earlier shows. Like we're going to earlier shows. Now I love a dirty late night, midnight start. I will never not love that. But like things like this, I'm like, oh my God, we can have like a day and then we can have like a night. Like we can still go out, we can go home for cocktails. Like I am all about this. So yeah, that's at Lake Monster Brewing, Monster Bash 2021, and I get to be the first monster.
Oh, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm. 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 And then yeah, I think we're going to Madison in November. And then I don't know, like please book me if you're gonna do vaccination cards and negative tests because I've been so focused on getting this show and getting the recording and the music video going that like booking has taken a little bit of a backseat. And also I think people are just feeling like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know. So I only have a handful of things and I'm kind of hoping that I'll get an album done this winter and then this summer it'll be like, let's go.
Yes.
And we push it. We push it really, really hard. I push it. Push and pull it. Everyone's pushing.
I love it. Well, that all sounds fantastic.
It's a good plan in my mind, you know?
It makes sense. Yes. It sounds great to me.
Yes.
Like it. Yes.
Yes.
Brew, whatever that's worth. Oh my gosh. Well, where can people get the new single? Is it on all the streams, Bandcamp, your website?
I'm not on Bandcamp, although I should because Bandcamp is so good to their artists. You know, you actually get your money.
Yeah.
I just go through, and I'm saying this because other artists listen to what I steal ideas from people all the time. If you did something I liked, I stole it in some way and then made it my own. But I use DistroKid, and then they put you on everything except for Bandcamp, right? Because Bandcamp really is its own island. But DistroKid is a way to get it on like iTunes, YouTube, Spotify. So like all the like other big ones. Right now, if you go to my website, jaedynjames.com, JAEDYN James.com, you can get my tour schedule, you can get where like my new music video will be, and you can hear the new single. It's like right on that homepage. So to me, that's the easiest way because it's like, and also like you can write me like a love letter if you want to contact me. I love letters and I love when I love love. So yeah, I mean, you can really find it anywhere. It's just really about getting the spelling right.
Yeah.
So thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mom, for that one.
I mean, I think it's I like how it's spelled, but I'm sure it can be.
I love it.
It's a great name.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm, not, I might be biased or whatever, but it's my favorite spelling of the name.
For sure.
I've met one other boy. He was in a Letterman's jacket, and that's the only way I knew that was how his name was spelled. Although it's very normal practice for Jaedyns to meet each other and go, what's the spelling like?
Right.
It's like, it's kind of like a
Krista. It's the same thing. Like, yeah. Oh, how's your spell?
CHK. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, you got the CH on the K. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And it like means something. Like it does. It's like, I don't know. Yeah. There's a lot.
Very exciting. Jaedyn, thank you so much for coming on the show. Congrats on the new single, which we're going to listen to, Push and Pull. And so excited. I can't wait to see you perform Saturday at Hook and Ladder. I got my ticket. Now everyone else get yours.
Yeah, get your ticket. October 9th. Get that ticket.
Yeah, get that ticket. Why wouldn't
you? Get that ticket. Get that ticket.
Do it. Come on.
Please, go get it.
Well, thank you, and I will see you Saturday.
Oh, I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to see everybody else. I love you so much.
Oh,
Oh, I've missed you.
it's gonna be great.